and welcome. Today, we're going to discuss the impact that state and local policies can have on its citizens. Let's take, for example, the local town that was sending their children to a larger school in a town a few miles over because the town was too small and they did not have a local school. They decided that they were going to build a school, however, that would be at the cost of an increase of taxes to the townspeople. The townspeople weren't happy about this. However, they really didn't have a choice. It was voted on, and this is a local policy because local government is in charge of who takes care of education. Now, this obviously would affect all the citizens in this town because this would be a tax, a form of education tax. So ultimately, it will affect everyone in the town. It would negatively affect the people who don't have children and will still have to pay. Their taxes will go up, which means less money for groceries, mortgages, rent. It will positively affect the people who have children in the school system because they will be able to send their children to a local school and not have to worry about busing their children to another town. In another scenario, a town is struggling with the decision of do they purchase more plowing equipment to maintain their city streets in the winter, or do they fix broken down playground equipment? This is also something that would take place at the local government. This is the responsibility of the local government to maintain their streets. The people that would negatively be impacted in this would be the people who frequently use the playground, which are unfortunately low income residents. They have no place else that they can have recreation, and this is their sole place for recreation. However, most people would be positively impacted because the streets will be cleared, it will be easier to get around in the winter. And other than the cost of not fixing the playground, this is money that was going to be set aside anyway. So there will be no increases in any type of tax. So basically, everyone would benefit from this. In another scenario, one town is struggling with the fact that the cost of living has gone up and people aren't making enough money. So they have decided on the state level to raise the minimum wage. This would be a state policy, as it is the state that can mandate minimum wage so long as that wage is not lower than what the federal government sets. So, because the federal government sets a wage that was lower than what the state set, the state could go ahead and set this minimum wage, which was $2 higher than the federal minimum wage. This could impact a lot of people as the business owners and people who are employing the people at minimum wage stated that they might end up having to lay people off because they couldn't afford increasing minimum wage pay. However, it could greatly benefit the people in these jobs because they would be able to make ends meet. They might be able to spend a little more in the local stores, which would help benefit that part of the economy. And in general, I think it would increase the economy for everyone in the state. The negative impact might be that some people could perhaps be laid off due to the fact that these small businesses said that they could not afford to pay a higher minimum wage. Another scenario deals with a major highway in a state deciding to expand. This would come under state and federal policy, as state and federal government are both responsible for building highways, and this would be considered building a highway as they're looking to widen the highway from a very congested Route 101 in the state of New Hampshire. This would benefit most people using this highway because it is a main thoroughfare that leads directly to our seacoast. And in the summer, local residents have a very hard time getting to work, getting to the grocery store, and things like that. It would benefit not only the local residents, but also tourism, as it would alleviate the traffic and the backups during the summer of the people wanting to make it to the seacoast. The negative impacts might be that during the construction and during the project, there might be a lot of extra backups that people weren't counting on. And finally, a policy that was made right here in my own hometown, it was decided that during a snow emergency, all vehicles would have to be removed from the road. This was something that local leaders created. They created this because number one, this would fall under local category of government because it is maintaining their streets. But this policy was created so that when there is a snowstorm, the streets will be cleared of cars so that plows can come by and properly clear the roads. This benefits most of the citizens in this city because it's beneficial for us to have clear roads from sidewalk to sidewalk and not patches of snow everywhere because cars were left on the street and plows had to go around the cars. So this allows the plow drivers to clear the street properly.